The Broncos finished the 1997 season in epic fashion when they won Super Bowl XXXII against the heavily favored Green Bay Packers. And most of us either heard or watched in real time how Terrell Davis didn't play the entire second quarter because of a migraine. And even though he couldn't see, he came in for a final fake handoff before he left the game, which allowed Elway to just stroll into the end zone, basically. I mean, that was a well-known fake. It's on highlights all the time with that when we talk about that Super Bowl, because the Packers defense was sold out completely on the run, and they were fooled soundly. Many people don't know about a secret change to a play that happened in the following Super Bowl, Super Bowl XXXIII, to end the 1998 season. And it was so secretive that few even knew about it. In fact, most of the players on the offense didn't even know about it. And that team that won the Super Bowl, the first one for the Broncos, really got the monkey off the franchise's back in epic fashion. And that team stayed intact mostly and was poised for another Super Bowl run in 98. And it was quite a run. That 1998 team was the greatest in Broncos history and arguably one of the greatest in NFL history. They rattled off 13 straight wins, finished the season 14-2, and that's the greatest win total in club history. And they rolled into Super Bowl XXXIII, ready to take on the Atlanta Falcons. And the Broncos were a juggernaut that year, and they were favored to win. But they actually didn't roll out to a big lead early on, as many expected. In fact, the Falcons scored first, and in the second quarter, the game was close at 10-3. I mean, it was much more in doubt than many spectators could believe at the time. And that is until the game was blown open by the secret change in one play. A fake that was so well hidden, it required only two players on offense to know that it was implemented. And it became one of the longest plays in Super Bowl history. And that single play looked like it had been drawn up to perfection and practiced many times during the season. But that couldn't be farther from the truth. In fact, it was improvised in-game only a short time before it occurred. In the previous series, coaches noticed something on a play that if ran again with a small alteration, it would lead to a huge gain. The Broncos started their next possession in the second quarter on the 20-yard line, with their minds made up that this change was going to be implemented immediately and run on the first play. And the coaches called the exact same play that they had run earlier and that team had practiced many times. And in the huddle, it was communicated the same. But the small change of having Rod Smith run a post pattern was not communicated. So the ball was snapped. John Elway rolled to his right as Rod Smith got past Atlanta Falcons safety Eugene Robinson on that post. And Elway hit him in stride on a long pass that Rod Smith took in for a touchdown. And that 80-yard touchdown pass is burned into the hearts of Broncos fans. Anyone who watched that game remembers that long touchdown pass. And it was made to happen by two Broncos legends. And the Broncos never looked back after that as they rolled to a 34-19 victory in that Super Bowl. And even though you may remember that play, you may not know that the only two players on the offense who knew the change in the play was going to happen was Rod Smith and John Elway. All other offensive players had no idea, and they executed the play that they thought was called in the huddle. It was the ultimate con, and the defense was fooled. The secrecy worked to perfection, and the Broncos became back-to-back champions. And that is your Mile High legend